Hello, it's Monday, April 15th, 2024, and this is News Review from Transville Media. We will deliver facts, untangle complexities, and keep you informed. I am Oladi Washerifat. Stay tuned. The organized labor yesterday listed its expectations ahead of the 2024 Workers' Day, calling on the federal government to announce the new minimum wage on May 1st. The national vice president of the Trade Union Congress, Timi Etin, who spoke with newsmen, described workers as a charismatic day for workers. He noted that there were lots of expectation, particularly since some of the newly initiated policies of the government have continued to push more Nigerians into poverty. Etin says workers in the country were expectant of the new minimum wage, with the Nigerian Labour Congress and the TUC determined and demanding of 615,000 as the new minimum wage for the workers in the country. Also, the workers under the auspices of the Federal Workers Forum (FWF) has advised the federal government led by the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu not to devalue the naira after the implementations of the new minimum wage. The forum said this during a meeting yesterday. A communique issued at the end of the meeting was signed and made available through the national coordinator of the forum, Comrade Andrew. The Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC) has been pushing for the national minimum wage since the removal of the subsidy on premium motor spirit (PMS). The forum, while applauding the federal government for the introductions of wage award, however, enjoined the government not to devalue the naira after the implementations of the new national minimum wage. The Emeze also tasked the government to clear all outstanding arrears on the federal workers and announce the new minimum wage on Workers' Day, May 1st, 2024. The Economy and Financial Crime Commission said yesterday that it has freshly recovered 445,000 and 3 billion naira in the ongoing probe of the scandal in the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs. The EFCC spokesman, Dele Oyewale, told newsmen that 445,000 and 3 billion naira were recovered between March and April, in addition to 30 billion earlier recorded before March, with the EFCC chairman Olukayode referenced in the interview. Olukayode said that the interview with the commission chairman, which was recently released, was done mid-March, and as it time, the 30 billion naira which had to recover as a note by the chairman. However, between the time and new commissions has been able to recover extra 2.7 billion naira and 455,000 in connection with the probe. The EFCC launched the probe on the directive of the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu following the suspicions and suspensions of the Ministers of Humanitarian Affairs, Dr. Beta Edu. Also on the probe is Edu's predecessor, Sadia Umar Farouk, and the coordinator of the National Social Investment Program Agency, Alima Shehu. The statement read, "No officials from the Ministry of the Humanitarian Affairs has been cleared in ongoing investigation into financial misappropriation." In another development, controversial cross-dresser Idris, also known as Bobrisky, who has handed a 6-month prison sentence over naira abuse, currently shares the same cell with male inmates at the Ikoyi custodial centers. Justice Abimbola of the Federal High Court in Lagos, while sentencing the convict on Friday, April 12, 2024, said the judgment would be directed to others who are found abusing and mutilating the naira. Bobrisky, who was taken into the custodial centers after the judgment, was said to have been treated equally like other inmates. A top official in the facility who spoke to newsmen says that the cross-dresser was examined at the point of admission. According to the officials, the outcome of the examination revealed that the convict had no realignment of gender or genital organs. The source says that Bobrisky made a public declaration that he was a male, and the court proceedings are public records. Every inmate brought into a facility during the admission is examined. It was equally examined and no realignment of the gender or genital organ was discovered. The male biological features were the same. In the same vein, the Economic and Financial Crime Commission (EFCC) has said it's investigating serious celebrities suspected of abusing the naira. This was revealed in a statement signed by the EFCC spokesperson Dele Oyewole yesterday. Oyewole claimed that the anti-graft agencies has initiated several celebrities for questioning and they have provided valuable information during the interrogation process. At the moment, the Commission is investigating several celebrities involved in naira abuse. Many of them have made useful statements to the Commission and many more are being invited by the investigators working on the matter. The EFCC will not relent in its no-cow mode of operations and the public should be wary of the running afoul of law against crime. The statement read in a part in the past few weeks, popular cross-dresser Idris, aka Bobrisky, was sentenced to 6 months imprisonment for abusing the naira. In the world of business, investors have continued to pay power on the stock market, especially in the banking sectors, on the back of proposed recapitalizations of banks announced late last month by the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN). The risk of sentiment resulted in loss of 633 billion as investors took profit from the market. Consequently, the market capitalizations of all the listed equities fall to 57.87 trillion naira at the close of the holiday shortened week from 580.4 trillion naira in previous week, representing a 1.1% decrease. Also, the benchmark of all shares index ASI of the Nigerian Exchange Limited declined by 1.1% to 102,314 billion base points from 103,474.6 billion base points in the previous week, driven by loss in the share of Guaranteed Trust Bank (GTO) plc 3.75%, FBN Holding plc 11.15%, and Zenith Bank plc 5.88%. Month-to-month MTD and year-to-date YTD returns slipped to 2.1% and 36.8%, respectively. Further analysis shows that activities level was impacted by shortened trading week, as total trading value and value weakened by 69.2% week on week and 50.5% W/W to 734 million units and 3.58 billion respectively. Analysis at Cardoso Capitals in their projections for the week said looking forward, will anticipate market sentiment will remain negative with investors continue to react unfavorably to potential dilution stemming from the CBN recapitalization initiatives. Following the attack on Saturday, government securities agencies on the southwest state has beefed up security around government structures and institutions with machineries put in place to forestall the breakdown of laws and orders by any group forcing an agenda on the state. Also, security agencies that warned that they won't contain any form of insecurity, added that anyone parading himself as Yoruba nation agitator should either toe the path of peace or have himself to be blamed. The warning by the Southwest government and the police came on the heel of attempt on Saturday by separatist Yoruba nation agitator to take over the new Yoruba Oyo State Government Secretariat, Ogodi Ibadan. According to reports, the agitator donned their camouflage and the arming with rifle attempt to hoist their flag on the premises of the Oyo State House of Assembly. The attempt was foiled by security agencies, with 20 of the agitators arrested. The Nigerian Meteorology Agency (NiMet) has predicted dry sun conditions in the north and thunderstorm in south today. According to reports, NiMet has on Monday morning drone the weather forecast indicates a continuation of dry and sun condition in the north part of the country. However, the patches of clouds are expected to blanket the central, cities extending down to the southern region. The report said that there are prospective morning thunderstorms in two parts of FCT, Nasarawa, Kogi, Kwara, Ekiti, Oyo, Ogun, and Lagos State respectively. The afternoon forecast shows increased activities with a thunderstorm expected to develop across the southern region. By afternoon, there will be prospective thunders across the southern extended parts of the FCT, Kogi, Benue, and Taraba State, while other northern region groups with dry air qualities remain unhealthy. NiMet caution due to the dryness over the north air quality is still unhealthy across the region and moderate the central and southern region. The afternoon forecast shows that increased activities with thunderstorm expected to develop across the southern region. From the north, the Kibanku Area Development Association has asked the Borno State government to allow the Chibok schoolgirl to far rescued Boko Haram to reunite with the family. The community made this demand at a press conference held in the Unity Fountain in Abuja yesterday in commemoration of the 11th anniversary of adoptions of Chibok schoolgirl in April 2014. On the night of April 14, 272 female students of the government girls secondary school Chibok, Borno State, aged 16 to 18, and mostly Christian, were kidnapped by the group Boko Haram. The terrorists reportedly broke into the school dressed in military camouflage and pretended to be soldiers of the Nigerian Armed Forces. The attack lasted for about 5 hours, during which houses in Chibok were also burnt. On the foreign scene, Donald Trump goes to court today as the first U.S. ex-president ever to criminally prosecute a Semitic movement for the United States as the prospective Republican nominees campaign to retake the White House. The 77-year-old ex-president of the United States is accused of falsifying a business record in scheme to cover up on alleged sexual encounter with adult film actress Stormy Daniels to shade his 2016 election campaign from adverse publicity. This so-called ash morning affairs is only for the 4 criminal cases hanging over Trump, and some legal observers suggested it less serious. But the serious real prospect, Trump becoming a convict flag and potentially forcing jail time, throws an unprecedented wild card into an already predicted election. Trump also said that it will take stand in the case, which gets underway from 1:30 GMT as unusual and often risky move from defendant. And finally, Iran launched more than 300 drones and missiles today towards Israel in its unprecedented attack overnight, injuring at least 12 people. Last night, Iran fired over 300 ballistic missiles, UAVs, and cruiser missiles towards Israel. Military spokesman Rear Admiral Dunn told a television station, reversing an earlier figures of more than 200 launches. Hagri said that 170 drones and 30 cruise missiles will launch, none of which entered Israel territory, added that 110 ballistic missiles will also fired. Few of them reach Israel. In a separate statement, the Israel military said that dozens of surface-to-surface missile launch were identified, with the majority intercepted before crossing into Israel territory. And that concludes the news today seasons. We trust you found the information insightful and valuable. Feel free to connect with us through our social media platforms. Until next time, I am Oladipo Sherifat. The news was compiled from our newsroom.